Hi there, it's GMcCleary, and it's been 2 months since I last posted a vid. It's summertime, might as well go out and experience a bunch of fun, but with summer kind of diminishing in a couple weeks, I figured I might as well, make some vids. And I looked at some comments recently, and before I get to tally and stuff like that, I wanted to, they made some people made some comments about like how I'm, perceive things to be wrong, and unfortunately, they didn't really give any insight to what I was wrong about. So being frustrated, so I looked into Ash's character again. I think I get why everybody was kind of mad at me. I always perceived Ash to be some kind of like uh, kind of kind of a human centric fanatic that Jar had, but obviously I was kind of wrong on several points. Actually, she is a Jarhead. Let's face it, she is a Marine. It's not. I didn't mean it kind of be an insult or anything, but like with that, she believes in God. She tries to express her feelings through poetry, and you want to see that throughout. You didn't see much of that through Mass too. And quite frankly, I hadn't really I had my character experience a lot of things with Ash for like a year or two, so I really did think I had to look into this, and needless to say, Ash believes in God, and Kain believes in people from all walks of life, and they both are. They're obviously both you know fighting for something that's bigger than themselves, greater than themselves. In which case they act accordingly. Like I think they both make great specters. Right? Neither type of principles or conviction is incorrect. I mean, it's nothing wrong with nothing wrong with believing in a higher power and all that stuff. And there's nothing wrong with believing in people as long as you do good and express your desire to help people. Then kudos to that. So like how they're going to be acting as specters, I would like to think that they act like specters, and like what would Shepard do? Like if your Shepard was a Paragon Renegade or a little both, they're probably going to act accordingly, or they're going to act against it out of pure spite, wherever works for them. It would be interesting to see that. So, all right, let's get the tally. I mean, at the beginning of Mass Effect 2, you see Tally like being betrayed by Fist, who Fist betrayed to the Shadow Broker because he was a greedy, stupid bastard. Let's face that. And in which case Tally says that no, and like he set me up and stuff like that. In which case she joins you, and she joins your crew, and helps you save the galaxy and all that. And in which case you get a perspective on not only the coins, but you also get to expect on why the Geth became what they are. I mean, they were supposed to be the source of cheap labor, and they turned sentient. And as soon as they turned sentient, they turned basically slaves. And let's face it, slaves are kind of bitter. I mean, they're kind of bitter. Slaves get bitter. Let's face it. Like you work long hours, you're in hazardous, dealing with hazardous material, and you're not being properly compensated for it. You know, that would, obviously they're going to rebel against their situation. Whether I suppose the real question is why the hell, as soon as they turn sentient, then why didn't they simply coexist with them? Be free. As Tsar Nicholas the First said, either we emancipate them from above, or they'll emancipate themselves from below. In which case, later on, he signed the Proclamation Manifesto, 2 years before Abraham Lincoln, by the way. In which case, he freed the serfs, and in which case, he was known as Tsar Liberator. I know, I'm a history buff, sue me, but and with Tally specifically, she's on fighting on behalf of her people, which is it's always good. You love to see characters like that all the time. Selfless patriots. Going through beyond beyond the Call of Duty. And interesting information. Before I get into Tally's character, I wish to point out that in the Shadow Broker base, like after you killed the Yogg and stuff like that, in which case Liara assumes the role of Shadow Broker with the help of Baron, you come across some interesting data. pretty damn good ones, though. You always wish for more, but it's like wishing for a glass of milk after eating some cookies. I mean, you gotta be a glass half full kind of guy sometimes. But anyway, with the shadow broker information, like you get a sense of you get a sense of like the shadow broker's perception once the get data is in Tally's hands. In which case she established contact with the shadow broker and he says, "Oh, I'll set up a meeting up with a guy named Fist on the Citadel, so he'll take care of it. Once you get the data to us, we'll ensure your protection." Then after that, he contacts Fist and says, "Okay, anyone that even comes into contact with that get data, including Tally, is to be eliminated immediately. In which case, if it happens to be your own men, then you're going to be properly compensated for it." Following the plan backfire, Fist betrayed him. In which case, and then Shepard and the squad, obviously, help out Tally in her jam, and basically she gave the data to the Alliance, and persuaded, found Saren guilty and all that. In which case, she joined Shepard to save the galaxy. But with in the side missions, yeah, you get Mass Effect 1. I mean, there's not really loyalty missions like in Mass Effect 2, but there are side missions that could help certain characters out of jams and stuff like that. With Tally, it's like if you go to the Armstrong Nebulas, there's a Geth incursion there. They're attacking several Alliance outposts. In which case, you find out it's the first wave of invasion force. Establish a foothold. And at the end of it, you come across some Geth data of how they evolved over the last 300 years. Obviously, Tally wants it. I gave it to her because I thought, why the hell not? The Alliance is already trying to decipher it and try to analyze it. In which case, the Quarians, if she gives it to the Migrant Fleet, chances are they're going to decipher it quicker and they're going to analyze it faster due to their understanding of the Geth anyway. And might as well give it to her. I don't know why wouldn't you? Pure spite, maybe. I don't know why wouldn't you. Anyway, in which case, basically, that was kind of a loyalty mission, I think. In which case, it inspires her loyalty. Not much information on the Geth data you gave her, beyond first meeting her again on Dream's Progress. In which case, you use that information to prove that you're you, kind of thing. But that would be interesting if they finally decipher that information in Mass Effect 3, because there was no reference to it in Mass Effect 2. I don't know if they deciphered it and analyzed it and used it for the Alarai or something like the Alarai, where Tally's father basically makes a bunch of Geth and it backfires on him and it kills everybody on board. I don't know if he used that data, but it would have been interesting if that was true, though. But anyway, with Tally's character in Mass Effect 1, she's always that, selfless, patriot, in which case she helps out on engineering when you're not, telling her to, come along on a side mission or something like that. And, you get the sense of her character. She basically loves her father. Well, she doesn't, I don't know, she didn't say she loved him. I mean, she believes that her father loves her, but let's face it, the guy never expresses it. I mean, your character's never met him, so can't really form an opinion on it. He is Tally's father. Does he really care about her, or does he just perceive her to be an investment? I mean, that's I'm willing to bet that Tally's father really did care for her, but didn't know how to express it, or was scared to express it, being the die-hard soldier that he could be. He tried to hide himself. He tried to hide behind his convictions as an admiral or something like that. If you're good at one thing, if you're good at your job, then you can be great as a father or something like that. That's what I always thought. With my dad, he's always great at his job, but he's always, But enough about me. And with Tally, it's in Mass Effect 2, you don't get much insight into her character. I mean, obviously she's matured a lot. She went through a lot of stuff, in Mass Effect 1 and beyond. So, in which case, she has a better perspective on things, and she gives you a better insight on the Quarians, socially too. So, in which case, you have I have no problems with that, because I always wondered about them. And quite frankly, the Quarians are the only species in the game besides humans that are you both see the male and female. Well, not really see with their environmental suits and all, but wish Bioware did some of that in Mass Effect 3. I mean, obviously you get to see a female Krogan. Well, not really see. She's like, covered up, with a hazmat suit or something. Like, it would be interesting to see both species of every, like, both genders of every species that you come across. But that obviously is going to take a lot of work. Whether or not that Bioware decided to do it, it's up to them. But I got like 4 minutes left, and I've been trying to record this, But basically, I wanted to state this opinion that you could recruit Tally at Freedom's Progress. I mean, I should say you could have, but Bioware made you go out of your way to go to Haystrom, the recruiter. You know, like, granted, I don't think they did that just so you can meet Cal Rieger. I mean, let's face it, the guy's a great character. He's great one-liners, and I do everything I can to save his ass on Haystrom. So, you know, but like, the sun on Haystrom, I don't know what's up with that. And the fact that the Novaria, the people from Novaria are interested in why are they interested in dark energy all of a sudden when you talk to Harsini on Ilium or something like that. But I don't know. Like, quite frankly, I have a weird theory about it, but it's gonna take some time. So I'll try to post that in my next vid on the theory of like Haitian sun and a lot more in my next vid. So you can like look into that too. So I'm gonna try to make that. I try to put Tally's character and this in here, but I'm having trouble difficulty with it. But anyway, with Tally's character in Mass Effect 3, I hope that she has a better more self confidence in herself, because you get the sense that she doesn't believe much in herself after Haystrom and Freedom's Progress and whatnot, and that a lot of soldiers died under her command. Because, well, not because of her, but because of the mission itself, in which case she was chose or was forced to lead to. I don't know. In which case, you would like to see her be more of a leadership position. I would love to see that in a lot of characters in Mass Effect. I'd like to see Garrus overcome his Talon and Garrus went through the same thing. They were supposed to lead a mission of great importance, and it obviously backfired dramatically to no fault of their own, and they lost a lot of good people under their command while that happened. And they're feeling and they're feeling, you know, lacking confidence, low self-esteem, all that fun jazz. Hopefully, Mass Effect 3, they'll be able to, lead an army or lead some people into a fight or something to regain that confidence of theirs. I would love to see that in Mass Effect 3. I would love that. But in Mass Effect 3, if you're romantically with Tali, my character was, but I don't know if I want to transfer it, because I want to transfer, imports that are, of my character be romantically loyal. In which case, I do it with both romantically loyal with Liara and then another with Ash. That's what I'm going for. Because I want, as much as I want to see how the relationship with Tali and your character goes, but I'm more interested in how the romance between my character and Liara or Ash go through all these games, all these games, and how their relationship progresses over 3 games. I mean, that's just awesome. I want to see that. You know, so with Tali, I don't know what to think of Tali and her character. I mean, you're gonna see her face. I mean, BioWare said that. I mean, you see some art and like, oh, that's interesting. You see some of them are ooh, that's gonna be interesting, or like someone made a goof off picture or something like that. You laugh your ass off, but it's kind of like unmasking like the Master Chief or something like that. Well, I suppose it's not a fair comparison, considering your character, you can play the character of Master Chief, but your squad mate is always Tali. So you can't really see yourself in Tali, because she's a female, and you're not projecting yourself upon that character. You're projecting yourself upon Shepard. So I don't know. I hope they make her. Her face matches her personality. That's all I'm asking. You know, I would like to see her face. I kind of like the idea of a whole woman of mystery. That's kind of interesting too. But either way, I'm happy. So this is GMcCleary's saying bye there.